Hi everyone, and welcome to this webinar from Tandem 7. And the title for us is Putting Customer Research to Work, Aligning the Enterprise Around Customer Needs. My name is Phil Goddard, and I'm a Managing Director at Tandem 7, and I'm on the product side of the company. And I'm excited to share with you this topic today. I'm a psychologist by training, and found myself in the field of usability and user experience many years ago when we were focused on client-server applications and helping enterprises build more usable systems. Over time, of course, the web has emerged and mobile has emerged, and we're focusing on a broader set of challenges in terms of understanding the customer, making our websites and our products more engaging, and understanding, the emotional space of the user. And of course, now we have journey mapping becoming very popular, and teams are trying to find the equation for good customer experience. So customer experience obviously is critical to the success of a company, and we see the mandate for building customer centricity into the fabric of the enterprise. But we also know that it's not an automatic outcome from really smart people working together. It actually needs to be engineered into the process, into the way the business conducts itself. And so therefore, it's a result of an integrated set of key factors working together within the enterprise. One way to look at that is a very high-level view is as 4 strategic pillars to build a routine outcome of a good customer experience. It requires leadership and strategy. We need sponsors who understand the importance of customer experience to the business and support building it into the business processes. We need obviously dedicated team. We need good experience-based methodologies, and we also need infrastructure, that is, tools and platforms and ways to collaborate effectively across teams and across the enterprise. I wanted to focus a little bit today on the importance of infrastructure. User experience teams, customer experience teams, they conduct deep qualitative research, they conduct quantitative research, and they spend a lot of time and sort of artisan craftsmanship time building these narratives about the customer and the customer insights. And they can be in the form of personas, they can be in the form of journey maps, and really anything in between. And this is the moment where experienced teams sort of uncover the breakthroughs and present the insights that have the impact on changing the way that business serves their customers. But it's still a fragmented process. Most teams are finding ways to craft these models with tools that are available to them today. Many of them, of course, disconnected from the original data that they were derived from, and so losing that integrated perspective. And so this is one of the things that we wanted to address as a company. So Tandem 7 set out to sort of build a platform to support this kind of process. I wanted to talk a little bit about the challenges of putting research to work. The first has to do with recognizing that the research that you conduct is in fact a strategic asset. And based on the different teams that are doing research, we often find a disconnect at the research level. We have UX teams who are doing deep qualitative research. They might be doing also usability testing. And the insights that they get are often not able to be shared or communicated with the marketing team, who have their own sort of orientation towards research, often towards customer segmentation and value proposition research. And they're often using quantitative tools. And that data should be accessible or communicated with the other teams. And in fact, CX teams now are sort of in the position of researching the voice of the customer and trying to build bridges between the different areas of experience research focused on modeling the customer journey across broad relationship stages. But in fact, that research is also of value to the UX teams and the marketing teams as well. So we see this natural sort of orientation to use different tools by different teams. And I think the teams now are recognizing a missed opportunity to work together. The irony, of course, is that they're often collecting data on the same customer. Now we see now more of an interest and a proliferation in the use of customer models, for example, personas. But personas, when we look at how they're created, they're often done in a different tool, not designed to do personas per se, for example, PowerPoint or Illustrator. And this results in a lot of fragmentation, and it obviously is disconnected from the original data. And so we see a lot of issues that are happening now at an enterprise level who are struggling to adopt personas, but also to manage and govern them. One of the big limitations of personas, for example, is that because they're done in PowerPoint or Illustrator, disconnected from data, they immediately become static. They become fixed in print, and often they're just one size that fits all. So the marketing teams, the sales teams, the engineering teams, the business are all seeing the same content when in fact they have unique needs. They need unique kinds of perspectives of the same persona to serve their own initiatives. You know, very simply, they often get buried in a project, stored on someone's hard drive, and it's very difficult to govern these assets. So there's a need to provide a way to bring personas on a more mature program of nourishment and collaboration. The same thing is happening with journey maps. Journey maps are obviously now a very key strategic asset in terms of bringing cross-functional teams together to see a common view of the customer as they interact with the business. They're a strategic asset that needs to be seamlessly grounded in personas. We think of the journey as an extension of a persona being put on a stage. They should be research-driven and goal-focused, just like personas, but they currently sort of suffer from the same limitations. They're authored in non-data-driven drawing tools. It's difficult also to bring together unique research sources like qualitative and quantitative research to inform the journey, even though that research, in fact, is always part of creating a good journey map. And also, they tend to be static and one size fits all. So we think there's a new approach. And that new approach has to do with adopting a platform that supports the sort of natural building and sharing and storing of these key strategic assets. So the old way would be that these assets are stuck on someone's folder, someone's hard drive, or lost in SharePoint. And the new approach is that they're integrated in a single platform, single source of truth, accessible across the enterprise, and also connected to their original research. And that's why we developed UX 360. This platform allows one to model personas from their original research, model journey maps from their original research, and have that research integrated in one place. We also want to support multiple research modes and the ability to share these assets across the enterprise. So that was our goal with the development of UX 360. Any experienced team needs to find the right combination of research methods, and we think that the best approach is to use the strengths of qualitative research and the strengths of quantitative research, and to combine them in your customer modeling and journey mapping. So we often do quite a bit of contextual inquiry or ethnography-oriented research. We find that this is the research that really allows us to go deep into a customer's value system, their goals, their drives, their needs, their blocks, to find out where they're truly satisfied and truly frustrated with a specific product or service. But that's qualitative in nature. And so we recognize we need a way to analyze qualitative data. And that's what the platform supports, the ability to bring in ethnographic research to be able to analyze it by tagging and categorizing and essentially mapping it into strategic objects that you can use in your personas and your journey maps. So this example is showing how UX360 enables that process by bringing qualitative data, tagging, and objects to bear, for example, in modeling a scenario. In this example, you can see that we're able to promote an understanding of a specific task flow, where the task flow is positive or negative, and also indicating what the multi-channel needs across this task flow are. Likewise, we can extend and validate and refine our understanding of the customer's needs through qualitative data with survey data. So complementing the qualitative, you can have targeted, focused surveys that get at attitudes, preferences, value from targeted stages or activities or touch points. And this is an example of a sort of a classic survey that can be conducted, brought into the platform, and modeled for a specific persona group or segment. In the example below, you can see how the quantitative data is brought together on the journey map along with the qualitative data to show that convergence, where you're doing well. In this case, there's a problem within the booking part of this traveler experience that's both found within the qualitative research and with the quantitative research. This really gives you a lot of confidence in terms of recommending what the greatest potential is to the business from your customer research. So putting research to work involves supporting multiple research methodologies, both qualitative and quantitative, to be able to build your assets directly from research so they're no longer disconnected from their original source, to be able to provide, dynamic views of your customers, so no longer one size fits all, and then to connect them with your journey maps. So the benefits being having consolidated your customer strategic assets in one place, with the ability to share them across the enterprise and then govern them. Here's an example more directly of a journey map that is derived from both qualitative and quantitative research. In the upper portion, you can see that the touchpoint model across the stages have state indicators of where problem points and wow moments were observed during the qualitative interviews. And then down below, you can see how we're able to bring in the qualitative data targeted toward those stages to converge on an opportunity. All of this is possible within an integrated, consolidated experience platform like UX360. Why is it worth the effort? Well, we see progressive companies who are bringing these kinds of capabilities to bear. For example, CX teams are consolidating their personas in order to put their teams on a strong foundation so that they can evolve a journey mapping practice. They can conduct new research to support, growing and enriching their understanding of their customers. And then in a platform like UX360, it helps to break down the silos and bring an organization around a common view of the customer. Marketing groups can use personas to define their buyer personas, and that helps guide or give a focused target to their value proposition initiatives. They can also use personas in their content management systems, develop more targeted messaging, and to build better market research programs integrated around their persona efforts. Agencies can build their asset libraries and then use those to support repeatable processes to serve their own customers and IT groups, conduct research, and develop personas, for example, to inform their technology strategy. And finally, the UX teams that are charged with building better experience at the product and service level are able to conduct collaborative workshops to consolidate their research and to enforce a repeatable methodology and ultimately build data-driven personas to inform their product, service, and design. So how to get started? We're all looking for ways to work smarter, better, and faster. A way to get to breakthrough faster so you can communicate across the enterprise and businesses can act more effectively from their experience research initiatives. And we think it involves a new play in terms of investing in infrastructure. And that's one of the reasons why we're supporting UX 360. This place allows you to identify your current strategic assets and really promote your personas and journeys, consolidate them and collaborate with them across the enterprise, and then build an integrated research program that supports them for the long term. Finally, it helps build a governance process so that you can manage these strategic assets effectively and centrally within an organization. So thank you so much for listening a little bit to us talk today.